Hi, my name is Albin, and my academy is Visual and Performing Arts Multimedia. My SLE internship was at the magazine New Jersey Monthly in Morristown. My mentor was Ken Schlager, the head editor of this magazine. My future plans were to explore a career in journalism, find out what it takes to work for a magazine, and find out the different skills that are needed to put together a magazine. Basically, I toured the office, I spoke to people in all different departments of the magazine, including writing, art, editing, accounting. There are a lot of different roles that are required to put together a magazine. So my CTE standards, the first one is demonstrate the diversity of functions within the journalism and broadcasting career pathway. I definitely feel that I demonstrated these skills because I was able to speak to so many different people working for the magazine, and I really learned about all the different roles that it takes to put together. For example, there's the art department where they decide on colors and images, photos that they want to use for the magazine. There's the editing department where they put it all together. There's the writing department where they basically get assigned articles to report on, whether that be events or restaurants within the town. I feel that I built upon my skills because I learned a lot and I found out a lot about what it takes to put together a magazine that I never knew before. How do I still need to grow? So I feel that in order to grow with this specific CTE, I would have to intern at other magazines and find out specific skills that are related to magazines that were not at New Jersey Monthly. For example, fashion magazines or entertainment magazines might have a different set of employees due to the fact that their content is different from the content at New Jersey Monthly. My second CTE was demonstrate writing processes used in journalism and broadcasting. So I feel that I demonstrated these skills because I spent so much time shadowing the writers of the magazine. I would talk to them about their experiences and I would ask questions about what was assigned to them. Basically, I found out that these writers get assigned articles to report on, and they spend days, even weeks sometimes, putting together articles. Also, there are freelance articles included in these magazines each month, which are articles by writers that do not work specifically for the magazine, but either sold an article to the magazine to be published or were hired specifically to create one article for the magazine. How do I still need to grow? So I feel that I could still grow with this by having more hands-on experience writing articles for a magazine, because although I did a lot of shadowing, I didn't actually write any articles for the magazine. Analyze how the application of visual arts, elements, and principles of design communicate and express ideas. So this is my third CTE standard. For this one, I feel like I got hands-on experience because I spent a lot of time with the art department. Basically, the editors at the art department showed me exactly the materials that they're able to use for their layouts. So there were various websites with stock photos, imagery, and illustrations that they were able to sort through and choose from. Once they had selected the images that they wanted to use, they were able to pay the creator and use it for the magazine. Other times they would create their own images, whether that be using digital tools such as Adobe programs, which we learned in multimedia, or hands-on approaches to art such as lettering techniques and watercolor. They used a lot of different creative tools to put together the magazine and add a creative flair to the magazine. I definitely think that visual arts and elements and principles of design communicate ideas because the color of the magazine layout can really have an effect on the entire feel of the article. The atmosphere of the magazine depends a lot on what the reader is seeing, so it's important to choose colors and spacing and a layout that complements what you're trying to get across through the writing. For my CRP skills, demonstrate creativity and innovation. I feel that I've grown with this because I learned different techniques when working with the art department, practicing putting together layouts, learning what readers want to see, learning what publishers want to put out, learning how many different items there are to choose from with online stock images, various artists that send in submissions, freelance artists. There's a lot of work to choose from, and it really comes down to creativity when putting together the best layout for a magazine. I still feel like I could grow upon this, of course, with more practice. I think that in any sort of creative career, you need a lot of practice to learn how to fully be prepared for new experiences within the field. And, New Jersey Monthly is just one type of magazine, but there are many out there. So different magazines might need different sets of skills, or they might be going for different appeals. The New Jersey Monthly design was very clean cut. It's like a family-friendly magazine. So we used a lot of bright colors, a lot of pictures of food, of nature, of parks within New Jersey. And yeah, that experience was very educational for me. The second CRP I chose is employ valid and reliable research strategies. So I used this one because one of my major assignments over the summer when I did this internship was to create a directory of phone numbers and contact information for the different restaurants that were featured on the New Jersey Top 50 Restaurants article that my magazine put out. So I had to spend time going from website to website, assembling the contact information for all of these magazines so that the magazine could be sent to the owner of each restaurant that was featured in the magazine. The third CRP I chose is act as a responsible and contributing citizen and employee. So I feel like my internship helped me with this because it really was a team effort. I learned that with any project as big as a magazine where there are multiple people, multiple departments putting it together, everybody needs to have the interest of the magazine at heart. Even if you want to do something creative, if the magazine is going for a different feel, you need to follow what they want, and you really need to compromise and all work together. Deadlines are also important. If one person lags behind with submitting an article, then the entire magazine could be delayed, and that's not a good thing. So everybody really needs to work together to make sure that the entire magazine is progressing at the same time. How have I grown? So I really just learned a lot about what it takes to be in a different professional environment that I had never been in before. I learned some things about magazines that I never knew. For example, New Jersey Monthly, they work on their magazines up to 3-4 months before that magazine is even published. So in June, they were working on August and September. In July, they were working on September and October. Basically, it takes a lot of work to put together a magazine, and you don't know what delays could happen. So it's important to get a head start. How did my internship help with my career goals? Well, if I want to pursue a career in journalism, I definitely know where to start. I definitely have networking connections now that I did not have before, and they just provided a lot of insight and experience onto what it takes to pursue this field in college and what it takes to pursue this field after college. What lessons will I take from this, and how must I grow? I feel that I have taken a lot of lessons from this experience, basically just about magazines in general, about journalism as a field, and about various steps of the process in putting together a magazine. How must I grow? Basically just by meeting more people, getting more practice. I see that I'm going up to 10 minutes, so I'm going to keep this next to short. My top 3 takeaways and advice for rising seniors. Top 3 takeaways. Don't procrastinate, because whether it be your SLE itself or working on a magazine, there are other people involved and things can get delayed, so you really need to get a head start on everything you're trying to do. Be creative, but learn that it comes at a compromise. Even if you have your own ideas, that's great, but you need to make sure that they fall in line with the overall goal of the magazine. Finally, I would say work well with other people in a team, because any artistic endeavor, unless you are working completely on your own, but even then you'll need help to get it published, any artistic endeavor requires the work of multiple people, so you can't have an all or nothing approach to your ideas. You need to compromise. Advice for rising seniors, I would say that all rising seniors should choose something that they're passionate about for sure. Don't choose something that you don't have interest in just because it seems like an easy internship to get. You should take the time to really research different options and find an internship that speaks to you. Furthermore, try to get along with your coworkers, because you never know who could be a networking connection in the future. And don't procrastinate. Get a head start and submit all of your logs by the deadlines. Thanks.